Of the tens of thousands of battles that took place across the Imperial Palace over the course of its 500-plus day siege, there are many that had the opportunity to change the fate of mankind, but few more so than the contest known as Saturnine. First would come diversionary assaults, massed engagements to the north and the east of the Saturnine wall segment, backed by heavy artillery bombardment to disguise the traitor movement underground. Next, the vanguard of the Emperor's Children surged across the Katabatic Plain, a relic of the early Great Crusade, something that had been retired due to its impracticality and inefficient shielding. The Donjon class walker. These, however, were not the standard Donjon assault platform walkers. The Emperor's Children had fitted the siege engines with mighty sonic weapons that annihilated communications, shattered eardrums, and forced the defenders to abandon their war guns. Once the walkers were close enough, they began deploying drop pods and assault bridges. That's right, drop pods, launched from within atmosphere in a curving arc at the wall top. With shocking speed, the Sons of Fulgrim gained a beachhead across the Saturnine wall. And that is when the real assault began. All across the Saturnine wall section, warp rifts appeared, like tears in reality. From these rifts came Fulgrim himself, and the very cream of his forces. Once this news reached Rogal Dorn, he quickly realized the defenders on the wall top would need his help if they had any hope of stopping his fallen brother. He was faced with a choice. He could wait here in the kill zones he had prepared for Horus, who may not even appear, or he could hunt an enemy Primarch who is an active threat right now. It was really no choice at all. But the Praetorian wouldn't abandon his trap either. The Emperor's Children were a diversion, a powerful one, but a diversion. The underground assault was coming. He was certain of it. Taking his sons Sigismund and Maximus Thane with their kill teams Devotion and Helios, Rogal Dorn left the remaining 500 Marines to spring the trap, while the Praetorian did what he did best: defend a wall. Now that the Emperor's Children were engaged, the time had come. 3 companies of Sons of Horus, including legendary units like Cachelan Reaver, Vincor Tactical, and most feared of all, 100 Terminators of the Justaeran elite, began entering the subterranean fault in termite and mantolith assault mining vehicles. They had brought heroes of their own, members of the iconic Mournival, Tormageddon, Little Horus Aximand, and of course, First Captain Abaddon, favorite son of the War Master. The path through the bedrock under the palace was thin and winding. It meant the Sons of Horus would be unable to surface simultaneously, instead being scattered across the Saturnine quarter. Once they had resurfaced, the Sons would link up with the practiced efficiency of specialists and shatter whatever meager resistance the unprepared loyalists could hurriedly scrape together in the area. But until they had broke the surface once more, the Sons of Horus would be trapped in cramped darkness, the thick bedrock stopping even communication between vehicles. A high-risk maneuver, to be sure. If they were walking into a trap, there would be no way to warn their brothers still underground. It would be a disaster for the Sons of Horus. It was a disaster for the Sons of Horus. One after the other, the termite drills broke the surface, and one after the other, the kill teams descended on the disembarking rebels. The Sons of Horus held numbers, but they were broken up piecemeal. The Sons of Horus held the superior equipment, but they were emerging into carefully constructed environments that crowded them and made their bulky armor a weakness. What's more, unbeknownst to them, the Imperials had begun sealing the fault behind the tunneling machines, pumping hundreds of thousands of liters of Arkan Land's hastily concocted substance, Lockcrete, into the tunnels. The Sons of Horus who had not already made it a certain distance into the fault would be encased in the liquid, entombed below the palace for all eternity. Those that had made it far enough would find their exit route gone. That is, perhaps with one exception. Had the Justaeran been able to engage as planned, perhaps the Sons of Horus wouldn't have taken the same degree of casualties, but the Mantolith carrying them was unable to deploy its teleporter in a timely manner. So when finally Abaddon and his Terminators joined the fray, they found a battle already lost. Tormageddon and Little Horus Aximand already dead, specifically having been hunted down by Garviel Loken. Faced with no other choice, they activated their teleport beacons to be withdrawn. But no beam of energy came. The Mantolith was suffering the same issues it already had. The bedrock, the overheating machinery. By the time the Adeptus Mechanicus aboard the vehicle were able to retrieve the Justaeran, only Abaddon himself remained. The heavily wounded first captain of the Sons of Horus was withdrawn to safety beyond even land sealant attempts. Utterly defeated, the only surviving Son of Horus in the entire operation. Yes, he had left Endred Har and Bel Sepetus dead in his wake. Grand scalps, but the cost had been monumental. He had lost 3 companies of elite assault troops, and 2 members of the Mournival. Still, the battle wasn't quite over yet. Atop the Saturnine wall, the Emperor's children pushed forward, slaughtering the first defenders they encountered. The Donjon siege engines were quickly destroyed, and many of the Emperor's children were stuck assaulting the base of the wall, but it didn't matter. Fulgrim had his beachhead. Well, at least, that's what he believed. In reality, Fulgrim had crammed his legion into a section of wall that prevented them from bringing their numbers to bear. This, too, turned into a disaster, as the counterattack led by Rogal Dorn reaped a terrible toll on the cramped traders. But he had come to hunt a Primarch, not his sons. Fighting his way to the Phoenician, Dorn began to batter Fulgrim with his shield, hacked at him, whilst while Fulgrim capered and joked, considering the battle already won. The battle was not won. In fact, Rogal Dorn informed him that he had overcommitted his legion in a diversion for allies that had already been destroyed. And now, the Emperor's children had trapped themselves in an Imperial Fist killbox, ready and waiting to join the fate of the Sons of Horus. Furious at this information, and in a great deal of pain, the Demon Primarch contemptuously healed his wounds and just kind of left, using warp arts to simply teleport off the wall, leaving his sons to attempt their withdrawal without his help. It was a bloody affair, leaving the Emperor's children so mauled they quit the siege in frustration, instead turning their further efforts to soft targets, like civilian hive cities in the Southern Hemisphere. The battle for Saturnine was over. The Gambit, had failed, had been doomed from the start.